Most people who seek out martial arts instruction almost always are primarily looking for self-defense. They're not looking to be competitive fighters. They're not looking to be warriors, if you will. What they really want is some degree of self-defense skill. The problem is that self-defense, what is classically referred to as defensive tactics, and combatives training are very, very different approaches, and they have very different objectives and goals. If we think about the objective of self-defense, the objective is very simple: create an opportunity to escape. It is not to defeat the opponent, it is not to restrain him, it is not to incapacitate him, it's to create the opportunity to escape. Now, if we think about bad guy psychology in a very simple way, if the bad guy is looking for an easy target and you are not, and suddenly he realizes that the best course of action is for him to get away, and you want to get away, that is an easy day. Self-defense in the real world requires a simple set of skills that you can deploy instantly to ensure that you are not an easy target. Law enforcement has a very different objective. Law enforcement has to apprehend. So the problem is, if the bad guy wants to escape and law enforcement officers are trying to apprehend him, that situation can escalate dramatically into explosive levels of violence. This is why you very often see ambush-style violence, because the perpetrator knows that they don't want to get apprehended in advance. So defensive tactics, the term that we typically apply to law enforcement training, requires a different approach and an enhanced level of training, primarily focused on apprehension. Combatives training, the outcome is designed to go mano a mano. Well-trained good guy, well-trained bad guy, both people duking it out, and someone literally has to win. That is appropriate if you're training for war, or if you're training for competitive fighting. But the problem happens when you train in that way for self-defense, your priorities get distorted. Is your priority to beat up the opponent, or is your priority to escape? The techniques that you may use and the strategies that you may employ are going to become problematic, potentially, not only tactically, but legally and morally as well. So understand, you've got to know what you're training for and seek the right training. Your safety and your freedom, in many ways, could depend on it.